Hi everybody, this is David P. France coming to you from Basel, Switzerland. Before we get the video started, I'd like everybody out there to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube or BitChute channel, and also tell your family and friends about David P. France TV. We are a platform for creators, creative people, artists, inventors, thought leaders, small business owners, and entrepreneurs. And let's get right to it. I wanted today to talk about the issue of LGBTQ and SJW, social justice warrior, these two topics. And the reason why I want to bring them up is because, I haven't made this a huge issue for me on the channel, but I would consider myself part of both of these groups. I'm in the LGBTQ camp, and I'm also a social justice warrior. At least when I was a student at the University of Pennsylvania, I now consider myself, in hindsight, one of the OGs of the social justice warrior camp. But I want to say, at least I want to clarify a couple of things before going into what I'm about to talk about, which is I didn't know that I was a social justice warrior. That's the first thing. And with regard to LGBTQ, I never really declared it to my friends or colleagues while I was in college. One of the reasons why I'm bringing up this topic today is I think as we are reading the news and we're seeing a lot of recent deaths of very prominent people in this community, and then also I'm watching younger people, particularly the people at Penn, move through these spaces with a certain ease that really has knocked me out of my socks. When I was at Penn, which was from 1985 to 1989, I mean, no one talked about being gay, being bisexual, being trans, all of these different, people I think were in the space, but it was kept very quiet. And I remember just being terrified, having a lot of fear, and really I wasn't able to be the person that I am, that I've always been, or the person that I am now portraying at the age of 54. And I think when Thierry Mugler, the French fashion designer, passed away, and also Vogue, former Vogue editor, and bon vivant, and just great personality, Andre Leon Talley, when both of these gentlemen passed away, I felt not necessarily a loss, but I felt like compelled to at least present, what I went through as I was coming up from my teenage years until now. In addition to presenting that information, I think by being open and transparent with you guys, the people that are watching on YouTube and BitChute and wherever else, it also helps to fill in some holes. So this is an attempt to at least begin the process of filling in these gaps or holes for people who know me and have known me for a long time, but they don't necessarily know my backstory. So this video is a first attempt to make that clearer, right? So back to the days at Penn, my older sister attended Penn. She was a freshman in 1982, and I soon after tagged along, and I would visit every Penn relays, and I felt the community there the black community there was fantastic, and this is the community that I attached myself to. At no time that I remember that I was at Penn did I ever identify as a member of the LGBTQ space. Back then, you were either gay or you were not gay. Even lesbian was like, okay, gay or lesbian, but so I didn't identify. I identified as black. I identified as African American. As as we got older, that's what we call ourselves. And I say all of this to say, now as I see the younger people move through the space, tackling issues such as racial justice and gender, and it's just, part of me feels great about it because I'm able to see things and witness things and progress that I clearly wasn't a part of, and I have prolonged for a long time my involvement. But on the other side, I feel a bit ambivalent because of my identification as Black and as Black people. In the United States, there is a history of discrimination, segregation, exclusion, etc. So to be part of both of these groups back in the 80s, to even give you a better idea or a clearer idea of this, it was more so about, let's talk about the idea of sexuality. I don't ever think, I don't remember ever being sexually active at Penn because of this issue of me not embracing, my full self. If there was some sort of sexual activity, it was because I was coerced. Somebody, not that they didn't force me, but I was more so coerced. But other than that, and then also there was the heightened fear of AIDS. And so, just as a full disclosure, my uncle passed away from AIDS it was in the 80s, early 90s. And so this made a huge impact on me. And so, I did not venture out. There was a lot of fear. Years later, I am thankful that I went through the process. There's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, a lot of stress. And it got to a point where I just had to say, you know what? I don't care anymore. But even making this video, I had to, it took me a while. It took me a while to make, decide to make this video and share it with you because I felt like, this is something new and newfangled that, this is new to me. But I believe, hopefully if someone who sees this video can identify kind of, where I was in that space many years ago in the 80s, feel free to shoot me a comment. You can leave a comment in the video. You can actually send me an email directly. And I intend to make more videos like this. This is just the beginning, but I felt like I wanted to be a bit more transparent and, to delve in the motivation for why I have been so interested and making sure that there's a solid community of people such as, artists and inventors, people who need the space to think in a more open environment and a clearer environment, and by doing this, I'm hoping that we have an audience that can watch and see what I'm doing and see how it unfolds, and we can slowly grow the channel to even bigger and better heights, if you will. With that, I'll let you go, and hope all is well. Stay healthy, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video.